You ready, Thomas?
We are live on YouTube.
All right, I'll call to order Millersville Board of Commissioners regular meeting agenda Tuesday, January 17th, 2017 at 6:32 p.m. Everyone please stand for the invocation.
Father, we thank you for another day. We ask that you to lead, guide, and direct the leadership of this community and the decisions that are made here this evening. In your name we pray. Amen.
Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item number 3 is a presentation. I think Ms. Miller's going to handle that.
Well, I'm going to do this with this person first because I promised him I'd get him out of here. So, Rob Wheeler. For over 20 years of service to the city, we would like to present you with this. Now you're going to be just.
It's strictly my honor to be an attorney. I have said that with pride for 20 years, and I hope more. I live in another town that's just right over the hill. I eat breakfast 3 days a week, 4 doors down, catfish on Friday nights in the same place. So I feel like I live in this community, even though we're really separate. But it's true to my honor. Thank you so much. I do have an extracurricular activity on Tuesdays and Friday nights. So thank you.
Thank you.
The city of Millersville has had only one judge since we incorporated, and that's John Munn. It is a privilege to give this to you for your service to our community all these years.
what to say. This is a surprise.
I know. Thank you. You want me to put it back in the bus?
Yeah,
Yeah, if you don't mind.
the way I am.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, thank you so much. This is thank you. A great surprise. You're welcome, sir.
We have a lot of people in the city that do a lot for us. I call them the unsung heroes and our hidden angels. And never really say anything about it. They don't post about it. And a lot of the things that they do go unnoticed. And it is my honor to present the Volunteer of the Year Award to the Knight family. I think it goes the other way around.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for all you do.
Thank you.
I'm going to ask that Mary Lillis and Tina come up, please? We have employees that, all of us, put in 200%. But this year has been especially very difficult for our group dispatch. And these two ladies have gone above and beyond what anybody could ever expect from them. This woman right here gave up a ton of vacation at her other job just to be here in Covenant. This woman right here, she worked 16-hour days, back to back, just to make sure we had coverage. Somebody calls in sick, they're there. So, both of you, not only am I thankful, but you are both employees.
Thank you all. She's the employee of the year.
All right, let me get you a picture.
Thank you very much.
Stand right here, stand right here.
Oh, you want to cry? Let's break the devil down on what you do. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, and last but not least,
Mark Palmer.
front and center, sir.
Make me come down there.
We are swearing in our new police chief.
Repeat after me. I, David Mark Palmer,
David Mark Palmer,
solemnly swear or affirm
solemnly swear or affirm
that I will faithfully support and obey
that I will faithfully support and obey
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the state of Tennessee.
and the state of Tennessee.
I will fairly and impartially enforce the laws of the state of Tennessee
I will fairly and impartially enforce the laws of the state of Tennessee
and the ordinances of the city of Millersville,
and the ordinances of the city of Millersville.
and I will faithfully execute the duties
I will faithfully execute the duties
and fulfill the responsibilities
and fulfill the responsibilities
of the office of Chief of Police
of the office of Chief of Police
in the city of Millersville, Tennessee.
in the city of Millersville, Tennessee.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Yeah.
Since you had your
I'm gonna have to come over.
I'll come around for it. I'll come around for it. Thank you so much. The only thing that I will say is, I just hope that I don't let anybody in this room, especially at this table, down.
You won't.
I will do my best. Thank y'all. Thank you.
That's it.
All right, we're gonna move on to the public hearing. I will now open the public hearing ordinance 16-664, amending chapter 34, fire prevention and protection to add article 5, inspections and review related to fire inspections. Now open. Seeing no one, I will close that public hearing. I will now open for public hearing ordinance 16-663, amending chapter 70, article 2, division 2, section 70-61A, related to sanitation fees. Seeing none, I'll close public hearing. The next public hearing is ordinance 16-654, related to residential grinder pumps. Does anyone wish to speak? Seeing none, I will close the public hearing. Open public hearing on ordinance 16-665, setting meeting times for commission meetings. Seeing no one, I will close the public hearing. Now we'll move to our regular meeting. Item number 4, approval of the December 20th, 2016 regular meeting and January 5th, 2017 minutes. Call for motion. All right, I'll call for a motion to approve the December 20th, 2016 regular meeting minutes.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Item number 4, again, is approval of the January 5th, 2017 minutes. Call for a motion.
Make the motion to approve the January 5th, 2016.
Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed? 4 for, 1 abstention. Item number 5, acceptance of the December 2016 financials. Call for a motion.
Make a motion to approve the 2016 financials.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed? And number 6, fiscal year 2015-2016 audit report, presentation and acceptance. Mr. Parker.
Mayor, you have in front of you the bound audit report. You also have a letter. And the letter is required communication that we have to communicate to those charged with governance over the city, which is you. But rather than go through all of it, I will tell you some things that will concise. First of all, the financial statements that we're about to talk about are the representations. Our job is not to do the financial statements, but to hold management accountable and to give an opinion on the financial statements. And that's what we do. In those financial statements, there are estimates. In almost every set of financial statements, there's some estimates. And on the first page, it lists some estimates that are particularly sensitive. Depreciation, for instance, it's sensitive because you're trying to allocate a resource over several years instead of just 1 year. Pension benefits are sensitive because they're based on actuarial assumptions. All the estimates that are in the financial statements that we're about to look at, we have looked at the assumptions that underlie them, and we think they are reasonably stated. On the second page, the thing that's really important for you to know is under the section called corrected and uncorrected restatements. And the reason that's important is you rely on financial statements like the December financials, which you just approved all during the year. And if there are a lot of adjustments at the end of the year, that would be a bad sign. There were a few, I think 8 journal entries that were made during the audit, but none of those were material mistakes. They were just cleaning up account balances and so on. So that's important for you to know because it means that your management is providing you with reliable financial statements. The other things in here are important to somebody, but there's nothing that will get you in trouble or enhance your life, so we will skip those. Now, in your report, there are 45 pages in there, and I will lose your interest really quickly with all of them. So let me just get the high points there. One thing that you need to know is on page 2. On page 2 is our opinion on the basic financial statements and management's discussion and analysis, both of which are very important. We do not audit some things that are in this report, and that is in our opinion. But the financial statements that we've audited, we give you an opinion that has no qualifications. It is the cleanest, the best opinion we can give on financial statements. We say that in all material respects that these financial statements present fairly the financial position of the city and the results for last year. So that's our report on pages 2 and 3. There's another report at the end that we'll get to. Immediately following that is management's discussion and analysis on pages 4 through 8, and it's well worth reading. It really does tell some really key insights into these financial statements and the financial state of the city of Millersville, and we have audited the numbers in there. On page 9, here's another thing that I think is important. Page 9 is a statement. This is a statement, net position of the city on a full accrual basis, like you were a business. You're not a business, of course, but everything's on the accrual basis. What I think is really important to see there is cash. And you can see that that's the top line. Cash is just a good measure of liquidity in your ability to pay your bills, and at June 30th, you had the city, all funds, had $3.4 million. That's down from last year's $4.1 million, but it's still a healthy cash position. I think that's important for you to know. On page 11 is a balance sheet on your budgetary basis of accounting. It's different than the full accrual basis. There are actually 3 different bases in accounting in these financial statements, but that's something fun for me and not so much for you, but it's something. And all this is in conformity with general accepted accounting principles for government entities. But on page 11, this is on the budgetary basis. It shows page 11 is the balance sheet. And on page 11, we have a column for the general fund, a column for the solid waste fund, a column for State Street Aid, and then non-major governmental funds, that is drug and stormwater. They're combined because they're relatively small. But if you see the total fund balances at the very bottom, that's important. What fund balances did you have at the beginning of this year, June 30th of the next year? $2,267,000. That actually is a decrease over the year before of $300,000. So how did it get that way? Well, it got that way because you intended for it to get that way. On page 13, 14 is the revenues and expenditures. This is still on the budgetary basis of the county. By fund, and we have the budgeted amounts, the actual amounts, and your variances. And you have the general fund on the left, solid waste in the middle, State Street Aid on the right, and then the 2 minor funds are back on page 37. Yes, 37. But here's what's important about that. You see total revenues on the general fund at the very left. The final budgeted anticipated number was $2,136,000. What you actually had in revenues, $2,283,000. So you got a positive variance that you collected more than you anticipated of $147,000. You go all the way way down to where it says excess, or total expenditure, you budgeted to spend $2,435,000, you actually spent $2,311,000. That's another positive variance. You spent less than what you budgeted. So those two together were a positive variance of $270,000. And all the general funds, governmental funds, general funds, solid waste, state street, construction, stormwater, you had a positive variance for last year. So that's important to know. Your non-general or governmental fund is the sewer fund. It's on page 15, it starts on page 15, but what's important, I think, for you to know, is on page 16. So your revenues were $980,000, and operating expenses were $792 or so. You had operating income of $117,000. That's up $32,000 from the year before. You in fact are required by law to charge enough to have operating income. So that's why that's a very important thing. Pages 18 to 31 are the notes of financial statements. All of those are important to someone, but what I wanted to point out to you is on page 31. And this is something you know, but it's important. We've had a note for the last few years about derivatives because there was an interest rate swap connected with your note payable to Regions Bank, your debt to Regions Bank. And during the last year, well, in August of last year, that rate swap was canceled. And largely because you have now capital leases that replace this. So no more interest rate swap for disclosure, which is good. All right, the last highlight is our second report, which is pages 43 to 44. So in addition to our opinion on the financial statements, when we do our audit, we evaluate, assess risk, and we evaluate your internal control. And that's part of an audit. We look closely at it. We don't audit your internal control, but we design our audit programs to look for things where there might be weaknesses, where there are deficiencies, either in the design or the operation of internal control. And if we find any, and nothing makes us happier than find something like that. But if we find anything like that, we're supposed to tell you. Well, I don't have anything to tell you. So we're disappointed as auditors, but happy for you that there are no significant deficiencies or material weaknesses to report with you. There is one compliance finding. So in addition to assessing risks, we look for areas where you might be in violation of state law or your own laws, the ordinances. And there is one finding there. And that's on page 44. So the finding is that the city has not completed internal control policies and procedures in writing as required by TCA section 9-18-102A. So this written document should ensure the internal control of the city, and there are specific guidelines on that. If you read 9-18-102A, you will see it says nothing about it being written, and you do have internal control policies and procedures, some of which are written, but they're not in this format that actually the comptroller wants you to have. So the comptroller has interpreted the law to mean that it must be written, and that's why we have a compliance finding. This is not a surprise to management. And they have a response in this letter, which says the city has had internal controls in place for many years, but doesn't have the written policies that's been adopted at the time of the audit. The written version was started before the audit and will be finished promptly, and then the interpretation So I think that's an adequate response. I don't think we'll have any negative feedback from the comptroller's office. And that's our report. So those are the things I think are important. Are there any questions you have about things you think?
So what will that look like when they got that report?
We've been working on it. They're really being very sticklers about exactly how it's got to be worded and stuff. So we'll get there.
So,
Next few months.
next month, okay.
I guess we're good.
I do have a comment.
Sure.
I just once again want to congratulate Holly. She is, this audit would not be as good as it is if it wasn't for her. So I just want to commend her.
I would agree.
I can't agree because I'm your auditor, but I agree.
Well, we certainly appreciate you coming and explaining.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Glad to work with you. Thanks. Yes, sir.
All right, I'll call for a motion to accept. Thank you, sir. Parker and Parker Associates financial report.
Make a motion that we accept 2015-2016 audit report.
Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Item number 7, approval and execution of contract amendment and extension of Waste Industries contract for the delivery of sanitation pickup services. Call for a motion.
Make a motion that we approve the contract amendment and extension of Waste Industries contract for delivery of sanitation pickup services.
Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Item number 8, approval of ordinance 16-664, amending chapter 34, fire prevention and protection to add article 5, inspections and review related to fire inspections. Second and final reading. Call for a motion.
Make a motion that we approve ordinance 16-664, amending chapter 34, fire prevention and protection at article 5, inspections and review related to fire inspections.
Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion?
I've got one on this right here. See over here, where it's got its, defined as standard building codes for the second of 1 or 2 family dwellings shall be inspected yearly. So does that mean everyone's gonna get inspected yearly?
Yes, yes.
Every household?
Every business, every business.
Just business.
Now, if it was an apartment complex, that is considered a business, they would be inspected as well.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, this is going to be a roll call vote. Commissioner Gregory. Aye. Vice Mayor Bell. Aye. I vote aye. Ms. Coleman.
Aye.
Commissioner Doris.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimous. Item number 9, approval of ordinance 16-663, amending chapter 70, article 2, division 2, section 7061A, related to sanitation. I'm sorry. Item number 10, approval of ordinance 16-654, related to residential grinder pumps. Second and final reading. Call for motion.
No, you had it right.
No.
You had it right. It's item
Yeah.
number 9.
One was for the contract and one
Okay.
was
All right.
for
We're on 9.
the fees.
Approval of ordinance 16-663, amending chapter 70, article 2, division 2, section 70-61A, related to sanitation fees. Second and final reading. Call for a motion.
Make a motion that we approve ordinance 16-663.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion?
On this, 4% per year, how many years is that gonna be? Just through July 18 or?
The 4% increase that will start February 1 will run through July of 2018. In 2018, July 1st, it will go up another 4%.
What are we paying right now for, residential pickup?
$15, it's going up to $15.60.
What's the city paying with the industries for pickup?
I'd have to go back to the contract. I mean, we haven't changed it since we started this. Residential, they originally in May of 2013, when the contract was signed, started out at $9.18. And they have raised it 3% every year since, and will continue to raise it 3% every year.
But they said last year they didn't raise it.
Last year they didn't because we had some problems, and out of a courtesy, they decided not to.
Any further discussion? And I'll call for a vote, and it'll be a roll call vote. Commissioner Gregory?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Bell?
Aye.
I vote aye. Commissioner Coleman?
Aye.
Commissioner Doris?
Nay.
Motion carries by a vote of 4-1. Item number 10, approval of ordinance 16-654 related to residential grinder pumps. Second and final reading. Call for a motion.
Make a motion that we approve ordinance 16-654.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion?
Yes, I have on, section F there, where it's got the purchase of installation of grinder tanks and pumps for residential use after February 1st, 2017 shall be the sole responsibility of the property owner developer. Maintenance and replacement of said grinder pumps is also the responsibility of property owner developer. We're gonna have everyone working on these grinder pumps. Right now, the city works on them. They maintain them and they know how to fix them. We'll have everyone in the city working on these things. And I think it'd be
But it wouldn't matter, it's their pump.
okay, if they find out that the pump is for the manufacturer, or are they gonna reimburse them the money for fixing the pump, or they still got to pay it?
When they buy the pump comes with a warranty, and that's a manufacturer's warranty. And that's between the homeowner and the manufacturer. It has nothing to do with the city.
But the homeowner has to purchase the pump from the city.
They will
But the city is not warranting anything.
No,
The pump manufacturer.
the pump manufacturer is the one that warranties it, not the city.
Just like buying a car, if you buy a car from a dealership, the dealership don't warranty the car maker does.
And also, part of the sewer bill that you pay goes toward the maintaining of the sewer system, which is part of the grinder pumps. Grinder pump is part of the sewer system, correct?
No, let me explain that. The sewer system is the sewer lines that are in the city. That is the maintenance that those sewer fees go for, okay? However, you all made an agreement with residential people years ago that you as the city were gonna maintain them. This ordinance maintains that promise to those that came before this, okay? And penalizes those that abuse it and are constantly having to change pumps. However, anyone after this that builds a new house they will be the sole owner of those grinder pumps. We are responsible up to the tap. We are not responsible for private property connections to the grinders, or the grinders. We will still go out if the red light or an alarm is going off and assess the situation. If it's something simple like switching, flipping the switch or resetting it, of course the city's gonna do that. But any fixing of that, it's the sole proprietors, property owners.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. Again, this will be a roll call vote. Commissioner Gregory?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Bell?
Aye.
I vote aye. Commissioner Coleman?
Aye.
Commissioner Doris?
No.
Motion carries by a vote of 4 to 1. Item number 11, approval of ordinance 16-665, setting meeting times for commission meetings, second and final reading. Call for a motion.
Make a motion that we approve ordinance 16-665.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion?
Yeah, I just want to state that we're moving this to 5:30 PM. So now the commission meetings will be at 5:30, the work sessions will be at 5 o'clock. But what our thought is to have it at 5:30 so that the residents getting off work from Nashville at 5, unless there's major traffic, which they'll never make it by 5:30, but at least it gives them the chance to be here for the meeting if there's something that they want to listen and respond to.
Anything further? Call for a vote. This will be a roll call vote. Commissioner Gregory?
Aye.
Commissioner Bell?
Aye.
I vote aye. Commissioner Coleman?
Aye.
Commissioner Doris?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimous. Item number 12, approval of resolution 17-R-02, supporting Senator Brian Kelsey's proposal to take half-cent from total state sales tax and give it to the city. Call for a motion.
Move that we approve resolution 17-R-02, supporting Senator Brian Kelsey's proposal.
Second motion.
Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Passes unanimous. Item number 13, approval of resolution 17-R-03, declaring certain city property as surplus. Call for a motion.
Make a motion that we approve resolution 17-R-03.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Carries unanimous. Item number 14, approval of ordinance 17-666, amending the budget for legal services and a donation to the library. First reading. Call for a motion.
Make a motion that we approve ordinance 17-666.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion?
Will we be taking this up at the work session?
Mm-hmm.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Passes unanimous. Item number 15, approval of ordinance 17-667, related to renewals of liquor license certificate of compliance requirements. First reading. Call for motion.
Move that we approve ordinance 17-667, related to the renewals of certificates of compliance for liquor licenses. Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion?
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind kind of elaborating what it was that y'all made some changes in.
Well, first of all, the liquor by weight for content is now 8%, so we had to change that. What we really wanted to clarify is the city does not issue the license. Okay, the Alcoholic Beverage Commission issues the license, number one. Number two, we issue a certificate of compliance, which is dictated by the rules and regulations from the Alcoholic Beverage Commission. So while we followed the TCA code and the rules when we created this ordinance, we also put a lot of things in there that are not correct. So we're cleaning it up. We don't have the authority to revoke a license, for example. That's only up to the ABC. Certain paragraphs about manufacturing and that kind of thing, we cannot control either. And we wanted to clarify the paragraph about renewals. Licenses are renewed by the ABC on an annual basis. Certificates of compliance from the city are required by the ABC every 2 years. Now, that is why that section needs to come out and be clarified. We can require, and should, in my opinion, require that anyone who has a liquor license up for renewal the next year, and if they don't need a certificate of compliance, we should still do a review to make sure that it's the same ownership, make sure that there's been no felonies committed, nothing has changed on that application. And at that point, if we do have any findings, then we could send those findings to the ABC and they would make the final determination. So we just wanted to clarify all that within this particular ordinance and take out the things.
Is that in here?
It's in the new copy that yes.
Okay.
We had it, and originally, every year the certificate of compliance.
Right, and that was a misunderstanding. It was our mistake, exactly. So we're cleaning everything up.
Okay.
Did I leave anything out?
Anybody have any questions? All right, no more discussion, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Passes unanimous. Item number 16, approval of resolution 17-R-04, setting fire inspections and plan review fees. Please call for a motion.
Make a motion that we approve resolution 17-R-04.
Second.
Your second. Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Passes unanimous. Item number 17, approval of appointing Brent Aldridge to the BZA. Call for a motion.
Make a motion that we approve Brent Aldridge to the BZA.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Item number 18 is citizens' comments. Would anyone would like to speak? Yes, sir. Name and address.
I sold my business,
Name and address.
Towns Island, 1205 Louisville Highway, Millersville. I sold my business, this gentleman here, and he's trying to get a license through the city and then license through the state. It's gonna take 4 months. Why?
It's all, I guess it's all in how the ordinance is written.
I mean, why don't we approve him and let him go to the state and get his license? I don't understand. That's what,
We have to follow the procedures that are stated in the Tennessee Code and the rules and regulations that the Alcoholic Beverage Commission puts out. We do not issue the licenses. The ABC issues the licenses. You came into my office and I explained that to you. There is a procedure that has to happen. We have to do a background check, we have to do other checks, and that takes time. We are not gonna rush it, we didn't, I'm sorry, but he has to come before the commission to get a certificate of compliance. Then he has to go to the ABC board. I don't know how they do their agendas and how long it takes them. We have a procedure that we have to go through. He is on the meeting for February. It has been advertised, he has met all the requirements, and if this commission chooses to give him a certificate of compliance to take with him, then that's when it will happen. We have a procedure to follow. It's not a matter of you selling your business and us just saying, okay.
I understand, but if he's gonna wait till February to get his license from the state, see, he's gonna wait till April to get his license from the state, because it takes 20 days before the meeting, he have to apply. And if he waits till the February meeting, he's not gonna be able to go to the city in February, to the state in February. He's gonna wait there more.
Again, it's a procedure that has to be followed, and there are certain rules and regulations.
Can we approve him before the meeting, and then he comes to the meeting, or disapprove him, or, that's what I'm saying.
No, because it's already been advertised. I mean, like I said, there's a procedure that has to happen.
The advertisement is for the location.
The advertisement is for the public hearing,
For the
to
public.
see if the city commission is willing to give him a certificate of compliance to take to the ABC. That is a date, and a public hearing has to happen, and that date is for February.
That's what I'm saying. We can pre-approve him.
It's already been advertised, sir.
I think what she's trying to say is, you're asking us to bend our rules to accommodate him. What would the state tell you if you went down and asked them to bend their rules to accommodate you? They're not gonna do it.
Well, the state, as long as you give him the certificate of compliance, I mean, at least 20 days before the February meeting, or 20 days before the March meeting.
But you gotta understand, our laws in the city won't allow us to do that. That's the problem. Our city has a certain rules that we have to follow, so our city states that we have to do a public hearing, and we have to advertise that, and so that it'll come, because we only have commission meetings once a month. So we have no choice. It's what our ordinances and our laws dictate. It's not what we're saying we can or can't do, it's what the laws dictate and say we have to do.
I would like to add one more thing. When you opened your business, you wanted us to rush through it, and it wound up costing you double because we rushed through it and didn't follow the exact instructions of what the Alcoholic Beverage Commission and the Tennessee law said. So we are following this procedure 100% to the letter of the law to make sure that this gentleman has no problems in getting his license.
I have a couple questions. Have y'all entered into a contract, have y'all signed a contract?
Yes, we signed.
Yeah, we have.
What contingencies are there?
We want-
What contingencies on finalizing the contract?
You know, it's just,
Approval
right now,
of
this
the
is a
alcohol
contingency
beverage.
is me getting my liquor license
Okay.
from the state.
Standard
And then,
language.
and that thing of the language, and then we can do we'll do the inventory the day before.
Okay,
And
and you'll have the wholesalers come in and do the inventory, you're
Yeah.
aware of that?
Yeah.
Okay. What about, our next meeting is in February. Has the advertisement run already, run the required number of times? Okay, in February, you'll come in here, chances are, for the sake of argument, your certificate of compliance is approved. You get it the next, that would be a Tuesday, say you got it on that Friday, what would that date be?
You could probably get it the next day,
Next day.
once it's approved,
Yeah.
it's a matter of.
The Tennessee Alcoholic Beverage
You know, I do have to
Commission,
run
the
all
Tennessee
those
Alcoholic
3 days.
Beverage Commission meets on the third, on the fourth Tuesday of each month. So that will give you more than 20 days before the next meeting in March. So I don't understand this April.
On the fourth week of that,
No,
I think it's on the third.
it'll be March when I have to go through.
Yeah, you'll go, and as long as you have it before then, their cutoff deadline, at least used to be 2 to 3 weeks, usually 3 weeks. So usually it's the first week of whatever, so you might be able to get in there. I mean,
Well, that's what I'm trying to say. We need to, I like for them to get there by the March.
as the city manager pointed out, and as Commissioner Coleman pointed out, we have to follow, number one, this city council, this city commission has to follow the rules that are set out in the Tennessee Code for issuing a certificate of compliance. And that's 573204 is the code. If you want to read that code section, it says what we can and cannot do. Okay. And as the city manager pointed out, when the city first tried to rush through it, it cost you double because there were some mistakes made. And that happens occasionally because it was a new situation. You want mistakes to be made again so that the ABC will toss out your application because of some errors or omissions, or would you rather do it right the first time?
I'll have to do it on the first time, period.
And I think that's the way we need to go. We need to just go ahead and let's make sure we do it right. I was in the office with the city manager when you arrived, and one of the things that was pointed out was that our ordinances, that's when we first noticed it, was requiring a certificate of compliance each year, which is not what the ABC requires. And that's why we were amending that tonight. And we're making some adjustments to accommodate, to be less restrictive to new businesses. And so that's what we're trying to do.
You shut that door, please.
So, but we cannot get it done any sooner than what the city manager has already told you.
All I need to know is when I get to run my office.
You haven't
It's
already.
my understanding
That
that
has
you
to be
should
done.
have been running already.
He was waiting for the vote tonight to change the meeting time, so now he knows it's 5:30.
Oh, okay, that's right.
That's all
You're
he was
right,
waiting,
you're right.
and then he's ready to run.
So now I can run ours.
You can run it.
You can start running it right tomorrow.
All right, well, thank you very much.
Anyone else?
I'm trying
Make
to
sure it's
get it
5:30.
through by March. I mean, instead of me having to stay there till the end.
Mr. Petty, did you have something?
Hey there, Larry Petty, 105 Echo Lane. I was wondering, on number 12, you said that the city would get 0.5% of the state sales tax. Do you know approximately how much revenue that would be for the city?
$500 million to the state as a whole.
Oh, I thought you were going to
No,
say
no,
the city.
They're estimating it to be $500 million to each municipality within the state as a whole.
And that's all distributed by formula, so I'm really not
So
sure.
it's going to be like 4%, 4 cents.
I really don't know, but I mean, we're losing one,
Does it go on population?
yes, and we're losing one now already that the legislature is taking away.
We're losing the hall tax, which is about $7,000 a year, according to Ms. Mollick here. And to the budget, I did look at it, I saw $7,000.
So we're losing 7,000 and might or might not gain some of that back.
Hopefully.
We hopefully will, at least some of it.
Darn if you do, darn if you don't.
I know.
Well, it puts a strain on our property tax, is what it does.
Yeah.
Is when the state is basically taking money from the cities, it's essentially forcing us as a city to look at how do we raise that revenue that the state just took from us.
Yeah.
And the only thing we really have is a property tax.
Yeah, we don't have a whole lot of.
Or
revenue.
we do have the capability of raising the sales tax according to percent, but that has to be done by referendum, which I don't think would pass in this city. I would rather no taxes come about. So let's go ahead, since Senator Kelsey, and I'm the one that brought this up, since Senator Kelsey has already said, let's take a half cent and give it back to the cities, I want to let him know that we support him and do it fast.
Well, since we're in a Bible state, we can raise liquor sales
All right, is there anyone else? All right. Item number 19, commissioners' comments and other board reports. Is there any board reports? You the one that we wanted to report on the planning commission?
Well, I haven't got a copy.
Okay.
I have been given a copy of the planning and zoning. Yeah, put it off next week.
All right, is there any commissioners' comments? David?
I haven't got, thank you.
Congratulations, Judge Lowe, you deserve it, for you to have sat here as long as you have and listening to everything. My heart goes out to you. Congratulations.
Yes, I received emails to you about the, fire hydrant up on Head Darts Road. And is it said it's $3,000?
If y'all want to talk, y'all gonna have to go out in the hall.
It's $3,000 to purchase it. Are we paying for it?
Well, that'll have to come up hopefully at the work session.
Work session, okay.
I was hoping that, All Things Chrome would be able to pay for it, but it's not gonna happen. We're gonna have to do it because we need fire suppression. So,
Which one are you talking about?
the one on Ted Doris.
The one at the end of Ted Doris or the one in front of All Things Prime?
No, the one at the end of Ted Doris, and I think we're probably, from talking with White House Utilities, we're probably gonna move it across the street over by the gas station, which makes more sense because that is more of a sensitive area.
You said the intersection of Bethel Road and Ted Darts Road.
Yeah, that's originally where we wanted it, but there's been discussion that strategically it should probably be on the opposite side of the road by the gas station.
And the one on Ridgecrest, that'll be done either, or it's gonna be considered?
Ridgecrest.
Uh-huh. So you asked about a possibility of a fire hydrant on Ridgecrest.
No, at this point, no.
I don't think the line's big enough. It's a 4-inch
No,
line. I don't
yeah.
think it'll support the
It
fire
won't.
hydrant.
Not at this time.
That's what they said that would do.
Is that Ridgecrest Drive or Ridgecrest Subdivision?
That's your brother.
That's what I thought. We'll have to pick up on that.
It just says they're only, have a 2-inch and a 4-inch main.
Right, so there's not enough.
Yeah, that's not enough to put a fire plug in.
How big a line would it take?
I think it takes a minimum of a 6, and it has to have pretty good pressure, from what I understand.
It's a big line.
We can ask, it doesn't mean that we're gonna get.
I think it's got a 12-inch existing line up there on Ted Darts Road.
But the pressure is not there because it has to come from the other side of the interstate over, so.
You talking about where the Shell station is?
No.
No, from
It
where
comes
off
from the water tank over to the old truck stop. So back behind the old truck stop, and then it goes under the interstate over to where Pitts is at, and it comes back up over towards Syracuse.
And their fire hydrant is gonna go, where, on Ted Darts Road?
No, it's actually, I'm not sure yet, but I think it's probably gonna go by the gas station. It's probably a better idea, because that's very flammable and.
There is one going in front of All Things Chrome, but they're putting it in.
Yeah,
So that will be on Ted Doris Road. It'll be right in the middle of Ted Doris Road.
But the one that's we're gonna end up paying for will be the one out there by the Shell station.
and so that we can fill up our tankers if we need to.
Yes, again, thank you for doing such a great job and doing our newsletter. I do want to highly recommend everybody to get on Code Red in the city. So if we have any kind of issues that happen, you will get a text on your phone saying, maybe the weather's bad, or if there's a police issue or fire issue, something that you need to be aware of, that will be sent to you, and it's in the newsletter. And I still want to promote us to getting, flyers out to the elementary school, and also.
I got banners.
And you got banners coming, fantastic, thank you for that. And then I also want to commend you, Karen, for doing the awards that you're doing for so many of the city employees, for Judge Lowe, having Mark come up. I am just so grateful. That's something I've been wanting to see for years. And it makes a huge difference for the city and the motivation, and so I want to thank you for that as well. That's it.
The only thing I have is I'd like to thank the Knights for what they do. They participate in a lot, and they give a lot. Also, congratulations to Judge Lowe. Congratulations to Rob Wheeler, even though he's not here. And congratulations to Mark and our ladies in dispatch. And then I don't have anything else. So I'll give it to the city manager for her comments.
Just a reminder, we have our goal setting session on the 30th, and it will be held here.
28.
Oh, 28th, whatever it is, I'm sorry, it's a Saturday. Gary and I met today, and I am putting together another spreadsheet like I did last year to show you where we're at with all the goals from 2015 and 2016. And as we sat there, you're going to be surprised to see just how much has been actually done. I know I was. I was like, done. So, he has a really good schedule this time because we have 2 new members of staff. We have a new commissioner, so we're gonna, do some innovative things, some that we've done before, some that we haven't. And I'm excited about that. There is also a first-time official class. I don't know who's gone and who hasn't. I believe
I went in 2000.
you went prior.
When did we go?
I can't remember the exact date. I remember, I've gone to 2 of them.
There's been some changes, and it's the 24th and the 25th of February.
How often do you have those?
Technically, it's for new officials, but if you've never been, I really encourage you to go. It gives you a perspective of what your true role is back here. And it gives you an opportunity also to talk to others that are behind the dais like y'all are.
Where's that at?
It's in Lebanon. So I need you guys to let me know who's gonna go.
Whereabouts in
I don't know. I will. But anyhow, so that I can get you registered, because the registration is open now. And
It's a 2-day.
it's a 2-day thing. It's the 24th in the evening, and then the 25th is most of the day. It's a Friday and Saturday.
In February?
Yeah.
It's on Friday and Saturday.
Mhm.
You send me a photo.
I'll have to look at my calendar. I'm sorry, I don't have to look.
I don't know.
Would you
My
like to go?
calendar is,
Yeah,
she's at home.
I'm there laying, I'm like, we need to do that one time, please.
No?
Let you know.
And I'm probably not, since I've been twice already. Because usually we can still have to work.
I think it's definitely something that, you should go to. I mean, you've been to them, so.
Yeah, I went to one, the first one that we went to. I need to point out something I forgot, and we're getting ready to bring it up. I attended the TML, Tennessee Municipal League meeting in Lafayette last week, and it was very informative. I sent y'all an email of some of the high points, just so that y'all be aware of it. As noted in there, I won the door prize, which is free registration of about $100, and I think I'm not going to go to the TML meeting that they're having in March up in Nashville, so Ms. Miller is going to be offering that to anybody that would like to attend that one. And the registration is being paid for.
So let me know if anybody wants to go.
But it was worthwhile.
March 20th and 21st.
It's a Monday and a Tuesday.
Where's it at?
I forget, I think it's is it the Double Tree?
Yeah, I think it's double true.
I can't believe you don't give away your door prize.
I went to the meeting.
Yeah, it's at the Double Tree, it's at the Double Tree.
I've already gone to my meeting, so I think I wanted to open it up to Mr. Doris and Mr. Gregory.
You make a contribution, very good.
Yeah, I'm giving you a contribution that y'all can also benefit or reap the rewards from a meeting with it. If it was a door prize to Orlando, Florida, I would have kept out of that.
Oh, you wouldn't give it to me. So let me know if anybody wants to go, I mean. And I believe that's all I have.
The only other thing I have is there is a Veterans Board meeting Wednesday, tomorrow. So if anyone would like to come to it, it'd be Wednesday, tomorrow, 5 p.m. here. The board will be discussing the upcoming Veterans Party. All right, I'm called for a motion to adjourn.
Move the adjourn.
All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Was it already on? I didn't turn it on.
No, all residents. Exactly, that's what I was trying to say. Because I noticed it when I was at the last meeting.
I know where you hang out. Did you know where I hang out? Thank you. We haven't heard that here. Thank you so much. By the time you take the other ones, you know about the
I was down at,
That's what we did. Congratulations.
one thing I'm very proud of.
Yeah, it's icky. That's how I remember his email.
I'm good. I'm good. We're trying. And I know he thinks we're trying to say, oh, but we're not.
Congratulations, you too. Thank you.
The reason why I asked is because I have to go do.
Sometimes you know it's a losing battle. Always something happens.
You could make this was a big.
Especially if you don't have the right.
His father.
Congratulations on your
Well,
thank you kindly, Mark.
1860s.
Sign that. Well, I guess I can.
Well, congratulations are in the council to see, you know.
All right.
Mark's
Now turn it into the official clerk. You turn that into the official clerk. Yeah, make it official. That's right, make it official. Hey, Karen, you're being the chief, does he have to wear a white shirt?